Hey, how's it going everyone? MLT Magic Tricks here. So in this video, I'm going to be giving you a performance and a tutorial for this very cool card trick that I definitely think should be in your routine. But before we get into it, if you are new here to the channel, make sure you subscribe with those notifications on for more card trick videos like this. And also check out the link in the description to my Amazon page where I have a collection of all the decks of cards I use in my videos. But anyway, let's get right into this performance. Alright, so I'm going to start off this trick by mixing up the deck here. At this point, I would have my spectator make a selection. My spectator can just call stop anywhere as I riffle down the side of the deck. So let's say my spectator calls stop right here. I'll tell them, okay, we're going to lift up from where you called stop, and this card right here will be your selection. So in this case, we have the 5 of diamonds as my spectator's card. Now what we're going to do here to start is just get their card lost into the middle of the deck. We'll go ahead and give the deck a few cuts like this just to really lose the spectator selection into the middle. And just for good measure, to really lose the card, we'll also give the pack a few cuts, face up in the deck. So we have the spectator's card lost into the middle of the pack, and it is my job to take a guess as to where their card is in the deck. So I'm going to go ahead and take a guess and say that my spectator's card is 13 cards from the very top of the deck. I'm sticking with that number 13, and we're going to see if I am correct. So I'm going to go ahead and deal off 13 cards from the top. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and check out the 13th card. It is actually the spectator's card right here, the 5 of diamonds. So guys, that was pretty good, but that's not the entire trick. We're going to actually try something else here with the spectator's card. So we have this 5 of diamonds, and as you guys know, all cards in the deck have a soulmate. So the soulmate to the 5 of diamonds is the card that has the same value and same colored suit. So in this case, that would be the 5 of hearts. Now, we're going to try and find that 5 of hearts in the deck, but I think the deck itself is actually going to help us out. So check this out. I'm going to snap my fingers over the deck. I'm going to spread the cards right here on the table, and you will notice that there is one red-backed card out of this entire blue-backed deck, and the one red card right here is that 5 of hearts, the soulmate to the spectator selection. So guys, that is the trick. It's a really awesome one, and if you want to learn how to perform it, make sure you watch the tutorial. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed that performance. This trick is quite easy to perform, and it will definitely impress all of your spectators. So grab your deck of cards, and let's get right into the tutorial. There's a small setup that you're going to need to make for this trick. You're first going to take out all of the cards from one of the 4 suits in the deck. So in this case, I took out all of the clubs, and you're going to need to arrange these cards in numerical order, starting with the ace on the very bottom, going up to the king, and make sure your face cards go like this with the jack followed by the queen and then the king. A jack is 11, a queen is 12, and a king is 13. That will be important to note later in the trick. So once you have arranged your 13 cards in this order, once again, make sure they are all from the same suit. You're going to then take out a random card from the deck. In this case, I took out the 5 of diamonds, and make sure this card is not a part of one of the 13 that are from the same suit. This is just a different card here, the 5 of diamonds, and then you're going to need to take out the soulmate to this card from a deck that has a different colored back as the main one that you're using. So I just took out the 5 of hearts from my red-backed bicycle deck. That's a very simple way to do it there. Make sure these 2 cards have contrasting colors on the back. At this point, the last thing you're going to want to do is just take out the 5 of hearts, in this case, that goes with the blue deck here, because you don't want to have a duplicate as a part of your deck. Your spectator may accidentally see it, and you don't want that. It's not too big of a deal if you keep it in, but I just like to take it out so there's no risk of my spectator seeing it. So once you have located these cards here, here's how you're going to make the setup. You're simply going to take your 13 cards, all from the same suit, and then on the very top is going to go the card that has a different colored back, just like this. It's right here on top of all these cards, and all of these cards go right to the bottom of the deck. That's all you're doing there. You've got your 13 that are all from the same suit, followed by the indifferent card there on the back of them. And then you're simply turning these cards over and placing this 5 of diamonds in this case this is the card that I'm going to force on my spectator. That goes right on top. Once you do that, you're good to go. That's the setup. It's very easy to make. At this point, you're going to go up to your spectator, give the deck some false cuts. Make sure you keep the order of cards that you have. Be careful not to flash that indifferent card when you do your false cuts. You do not need to do any false cuts for this trick if you don't want to. And if you want to learn some, by the way, I will leave a link on the screen right now to me giving a tutorial for some. Once you keep your setup after you do the cuts, once again, we have our setup here maintained in the deck. You're going to need to force this card onto your spectator. You can do any force you want to. In the performance, I did a little riffle force. You can also do a slip force if you want, but I'm going to be explaining a force right now that is very easy to do and is perfect for beginners. It requires absolutely no sleight of hand. So what you're going to do here is ask your spectator to call stop as you riffle down somewhere near the top of the deck. So let's say they call stop right here. Make sure they call stop in like the top half of the deck here. Wherever they call stop, you're going to turn all these cards face up, and you're going to have them call stop again, but make sure you riffle past all these face-up cards so they call stop somewhere more directly in the middle. Let's say they call stop right here. You're going to turn all these over and tell your spectator, okay, we're going to spread to the very first face-down card we come to. Your spectator will think this is a completely random card, but in reality, the first face-down card you spread to will be the card that you need to force for the trick to work, which is that top card. So that's a perfect way to force a card if you are a beginner out there and don't know any other card forces. So at this point, once you force the card, you can take a look at it with your spectator. You're going to tell them, okay, we're going to lose your card in the middle of the deck. You're just going to place it on top, simply cut the deck in half, just like that. So now you have got those setup cards that were on the bottom of the deck directly on top of their selection. Now you can give the deck a few cuts if you want, but when you're cutting the deck, be careful you don't accidentally cut to the red card that you have that's in the deck, and be careful not to flash it. So you can just give the deck a few cuts, just a couple while the deck is face down. Explain to your spectator you've got their card lost in the middle. Now, once you have given the deck some cuts with the deck face down, you're going to turn the deck face up, and you're going to need to do a couple swing cuts like this, and you're going to keep swing cutting the deck like this until you get a card that's face up here on the bottom that matches the setup suit of cards that you made at the start. So I'm going to keep cutting until I get a club card that shows up here at the bottom of the deck. So I'm going to keep cutting here. In this case, okay, I have the Jack of Clubs. If your setup suit of cards was all diamonds, you'd be cutting until you get to a diamond. Now, once you see this card, in this case, this is a Jack. Remember, I told you at the start of the trick, a Jack is 11, a Queen is 12, and a King is 13. So this Jack here on the bottom is indicating to me that my spectator's card is now 11 cards directly from the top of the deck, and you will see that is the case. Now, whatever value card here is on the face, that is going to be true. So if I had like the 5 of clubs, my spectator's card would be 5 cards from the top. Now, I like to have it so I'm dealing more than 5 cards, honestly. So I would just keep cutting, swing cutting until you get a card here that's greater than 5. Once again, face cards do work. You can have a Jack, Queen, and King here. That will work. So in this case, we have a Jack. Now, you're not going to want to pause here. Once you get to it, just quickly turn the deck over. Remember that card. That's 11. You're going to keep that number in your head. You're going to tell your spectator, okay, I'm going to take a guess as to where your card is in the deck. Now, I think it's somewhere near the top. You can just, play around with how you're, giving your story here as to how you're going to get to your number. So I'll tell my spectator, okay, I'm going to say your card's 11 cards from the very top of the deck. You can tell them, okay, we're going to go ahead and see if I was correct. You're going to deal off 11 cards or whatever number you have. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And you will see, boom, the 11th card is their selection. They'll be amazed, but you're going to tell them, okay, the trick is not over. You can simply just place these cards right back on top of the deck, and you will see that your card is actually near the bottom of the deck here. So what you're going to want to do is, as you're talking to your spectator and explaining to them the next part of the trick where you're going to try and locate the soulmate, all you got to do is just give the deck a quick cut in half. You tell them, okay, the soulmate to your card is the 5 of hearts. You can explain the soulmate concept to your spectator and tell them, okay, I think the deck is actually going to indicate to me where the soulmate of your card is. You can snap your fingers over the deck, do whatever you want to, spread out the deck, and then the card that has a different colored back will reveal itself in the middle, and you can have them take out the card if you want, or you can and show them the indifferent card is actually the soulmate to their selection, and that is the trick. It's a great little effect that's quite easy to perform, as you guys saw. Just make sure you correctly make the setup and follow the steps during the trick. There's really no sleight of hand involved, and it will work every single time as long as you follow these steps during the trick. Now, that's going to do it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you're new. We are coming up on 400,000, which is absolutely amazing. That's going to do it for me. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.